From straight out of Compton to straight to the top of women's tennis. When Serena Williams and her sister Venus burst onto the scene in the late 90s, women's tennis had never seen anything like them. She took the sport and transformed it into her image. Black, powerful, beautiful. She's the most dominant player in the history of the sport. She's Serena. Serena Williams picked up her first racket when she was only 3 years old, but her path to the pros was unconventional, to say the least. In a sport characterized by country clubs, youth academies, and elite universities, Serena and Venus practiced their games on public courts in the city parks of Compton, California. Though the Williams sisters came from a stable household, gang violence was an everyday occurrence in Compton. Their father, Richard Williams, trained the girls at an early age to stop and lie down on the court if they ever heard gunshots while practicing. Serena's family left Compton when she was 9 and moved to West Palm Beach, Florida, to attend one of the nation's top tennis academies. But that experiment was short-lived. Within a year, Serena's father pulled both girls out of the academy in junior tennis tournaments altogether, in part to allegedly racist remarks made by the parents of other players on the circuit. From then on, Richard became their full-time coach. Serena and Venus's bond with her father is probably one of the biggest foundations for their lasting success in tennis. By all accounts, Richard Williams was a larger-than-life and, at times, boisterous personality, but he deeply loved his daughters and supported them in any adversity. In a sport where many prodigies can burn out from the pressures and expectations they face at a young age, Richard Williams was never afraid to let his girls be just that, girls, even as they were chasing greatness. And greatness is the only word that can describe Serena Williams' pro career. It might not describe it enough. She's held the world's #1 ranking 8 different times between 2002 and 2017. 23 Grand Slam singles titles, 14 Grand Slam doubles titles alongside Venus, 4 Olympic gold medals, Forbes' highest paid woman in sports 3 years running. In addition to her never-ending shelf of trophies, Serena has transformed the entire way women's tennis was played. For years, the sport was characterized by long volleys and finesse, but Serena's unstoppable serve and baseline ground strokes added a new era of power and athleticism to the game. Also, it's impossible to ignore the historic impact Serena's made for representation and diversity in tennis, as a black woman dominating a sport that, prior to her, had only seen white faces. 2017, Serena's influence took on a new dimension: motherhood. Williams stepped away from the sport in late 2017 to give birth to her first daughter, Alexis. Serena suffered life-threatening pregnancy complications and blood clotting during labor, and required multiple surgeries for her recovery. Serena's willingness to speak candidly about those struggles, as well as her battle with postpartum depression shortly after, has been a source of comfort and solidarity to moms everywhere. Amazingly, barely 6 months after her ordeal, Serena was already back where she belonged, on the tennis court. And, after back-to-back finals appearances at Wimbledon and the US Open in 2018, the greatest women's tennis player in history has proven she has plenty more to add to her legacy in the years ahead.